Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today we're going through all of the series that I am in the middle of. Now, I have gone through my shelves that I can see and I've racked my brain and I've come up with, I think there's roughly about 20 series that I am in the middle of. Now, these series are either ones that are already finished that I own all of the books for, or I don't, but they are a finished series. They are series where the next book is out but not necessarily finished. And I probably have missed some. Let's just cross that off now. But otherwise, let's just get into it. I feel like this could be very long. I will not be doing descriptions of these series. I'm just going to be probably holding them up or adding a photo in. And then all of the first books will be linked down below so you can check them out should you wish to. So the first book on this list is actually a graphic novel, and I think it is the only graphic novel on this list, and that is Lock and Key by Joe Hill. I started reading this, I read the first one this month, I think, in Feb, and I haven't picked up any of the others. I literally picked it up because I wanted to try a graphic novel, and that is one that was recommended to me, and my god, it is gruesome. So if you're not into gore and blood and graphicness in that, and there is some sexual content, please be aware. The next series I am yet to finish is Eragon by Christopher Paolini. I've read this book, as you can tell because it's a little bit battered, many a time. I think I've read this at least 3 or 4 times, and I have managed to read this and Eldest, but I have never finished Brisinger, and I am yet to even start Inheritance, so this is definitely on this list. I need to just get through it. I think at this point I might need to go back and read the first and second books. I'm just a little bit worried because these are getting old now and they've moved with me many a time, and I think Eldest has not survived the best. So, but yes, I need to get onto reading these ones. The next series is the Cinder series, so the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I have read this one and the second one, yes again, and I actually haven't gone further than Scarlet, so I have the other 2 on my shelf. I have the whole series apart from the novellas. I just need to get to this. I probably once again do need to reread this one just so I can, you know, get back into it. But and the 4th series on this list is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I picked this up because I think my mum had watched the first film and I think she said that I would really like it, and I was like, no, I know there's a book, so I need to read the book first, in typical bookworm fashion. And I have read the first book and I've read part of the second book, but that's it. I know they're written a little bit younger. I'm not 100% sure if I will actually enjoy them. I remember enjoying this one, but I don't know if I'll enjoy the rest of the series. But the only way to find out is to actually pick them up. So that is what I plan to do at some point. Now, in this video, I set out the parameters for myself for making this list, that I would not include any series that I haven't read the first book from. And these next 3 kind of fit that, but don't fit that. So the first one is Wool by Hugh Howey. So this is the first book in the Wool series, and no, I have not finished it, but I have been trying to finish this book for years. It is a dystopian. I really enjoy the premise of it, but every time I pick it up I get distracted, so I think I just kind of need to sit in a room with just this book and just read this series. It's also because it's a bit of a chunker, if I'm honest, and that used to, a while ago, terrify me. It's over 500 pages, so, you know, I started picking this up when I was a teenager, maybe, so 500 pages was massive, and now we have got, you know, all the Brandon Sanderson books and adult fantasy books that are massive, so this isn't that big, but I need to finish this. I know I'm gonna love it, that's the annoying thing, but I just haven't picked it up for ages. So once again, I think I've tried to read this 3 times, so I think I might need to start it again and go from there. The next book is Inkheart, and yes, once again, first book in the series, have not finished this. However, I think I read it when I was younger and I never finished the rest of the series, and I got the new pretty covers, that's why I bought them. And also I've always wanted to find out what actually happens in the rest of the books. I know how this one goes. I mention this all the time. I really struggle to read books that I've already seen the movies for, which is why I try really hard to read the book first before the movie. So I just need to finish this so I can actually get on to the rest of the series. It shouldn't be too hard. It is a middle grade, but it's just taking me so long. maybe another one that I need to just take the bookmark out and start again in a month or so, and then just see how we go from there. And the last book that I have put on this list, despite my original rules of this list, is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I am halfway through this book, which is why I am determined to carry on, but I haven't carried on since last year. And I just want to read this. Like, I was actually enjoying it, to be fair. It is quite engrossing. Bearing in mind I've only seen the final series of Game of Thrones in full. I haven't actually watched any of the other series. I've seen odd bits here and there when friends have been watching it, but so a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing in this book completely new to me, not a clue. So there's that. Really want to finish this book, but I don't know. I think I'm getting to the point now where I just kind of need to take the bookmark out and restart it. Which makes me sad because, once again, this book is huge. I'm on like page 416 and I'm still not done yet. So, yet another series. The next series on this list I really need to get a wriggle on and finish reading because it is Inkheart, Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. The fourth book, literally, fourth, fifth, the next book came out literally this week. And I'm rereading the first book. I have read this. I read this last year. I then started A Court of Mist and Fury December, I think. I just wasn't in the headspace to read it, so I put it down and I was like, well, I'll just start the series again and it'll be fine. And I thought about doing that in January, and now the book's out and everyone's talking about it and I feel really behind. So I just need to pick this book up and actually get into it, get to enjoying it, figure out what happens in the rest of the series and what happens in chapter 55 in A Court of Mist and Fury. I did really enjoy this the first time around. I think I gave it 5 stars, then I sat and thought about it and lowered it to 4. I think it will come out 4 again, maybe this time, but that obviously depends on what my core pal says. But I just need to get a wriggle on, and I'm hoping to bring back weekly reading vlogs as of either next week or the week after. So if I'm yet to have read it, you'll see my reactions because I'll film them. As I've just said, I really struggle to read books that I have watched the movies for, so this means I really need to get a wriggle on with this one as well, and that is the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I've read the first book. I remember enjoying it. Like, I'm not too sure. I can't really remember. I read it like maybe 2 years ago now. But I read this one. I need to read the rest. I have also watched some other booktubers' videos on this series and they just say that it's a book about nothing, which I don't remember, but I don't know, we shall see. I'm looking to reread this, but it's low priority at the minute because I want to get Inkheart done so I can catch up and try and miss out on all of those spoilers that are inevitably coming. So I will read this. I will reread this one as well before I go into the rest of the series. I remember what happens at the end, but I'm not sure. Like, I just want to start again, reread it, see what happens. Now, the next series I started reading early last year and I was on a roll with reading it. I was so good, and then we got to the last book and the whole group seemed to bail, which sucked because I still haven't finished it, and that is the Discovery of Witches trilogy, the All Souls trilogy even. I'm currently reading Book of Life. I think I'm going to have to restart the whole book, not the whole series. I remember what happens in the first book, I remember what happens in the second book, that's completely fine. It is literally just the last book, and I have had my bookmark in that for a good few months now and I just haven't picked it back up. So I think I just need to suck it up, take the bookmark out and start that again, if I'm completely honest. But I really enjoy this series. Like, this is so good and I highly recommend it. I usually hate historical fiction, but because this has got magic and werewolves, no it doesn't, because this has got magic and vampires in it, I'm a little bit more interested. Also, these kind of vampires are my kind of vampires. They are just, I don't know, there's something about them that I like. Although there's a lot about Matthew that I don't. So there's that. I don't really want to say too much about what I don't like about Matthew because I feel like it's massive spoilers, but just sometimes I want to put his head through a wall. I just don't like how he treats Diana at some points, but that's not a spoiler, so you can have that. But yes, I cannot wait to finish this trilogy. I want to finish it this year. It shouldn't be too hard. There is literally one book for me to read. The next series, I loved the first book and I read it last month, and that is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I love this book. I can't wait to get to the sequel. I have the sequel on my shelf. The third one I think is coming out this year. I really hope, because I feel as though I'm putting off reading the second one for a couple of months so that I will have to wait less time for the third one to come out, and that's logic, right? I really love this. I know a couple of people don't like Spencer straight off. I loved her straight off. I love her brashness, I love her spikiness, I love her aggressiveness, which is probably not a good thing, but like when you read about how she feels and like what she's gone through and what the society has enforced on her family, you can understand it and you feel sorry for the girl. Or at least I did, and I really love this series. I need to read the second one, but I am self-restraining myself so that I can pace the books, because I know that once the third one comes out, if I am at a okay reading point at that point, I will read it straight away, and then I'll have to wait, I don't even know how long, until the fourth one comes out. I don't even know how many books are going to be in this series, but if it's Brandon Sanderson, there might be quite a few. I don't know, really like this world, kind of hope there's more. Unless the story kind of slows down, but I don't know. Once again, we shall see. I cannot wait. This is like the only series I think that I'm pacing myself on. Everything else I just need to get my arse in gear and read. The next book on this list, I don't actually own the first book in the series. I borrowed it from the library, so I'm going to hold up the second one, which is A Heart So Fierce and Broken. So this is the second one in A Curse So Dark and Lonely series. I read the first one last year. I got this one and started reading it, then put it down and haven't picked it up since. But I own the second and third book in this trilogy. I just need to buy the first one, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy the first one at some point and then just reread the first one so I can read the whole trilogy in one. Let me know down below if you'd be interested in like a vlog for that, because I know it's not a very big series. I feel like this is quite underrated in a lot of things. I don't hear a lot of talk about this series. Like, a lot of people were excited for the third book, but once it came out, that was it. I haven't heard anything since, so let me know down below if you'd be interested in that. I might vlog it anyways, regardless of what you say, but we shall see. Or it might just go on a weekly reading vlog. But yes, I want to get back into this world. I really enjoyed the first one. I remember loving it. I remember loving the world, the characters. See, in that one, Harper, who is like the main girl character, compare her to Spencer, and I didn't really like Harper, and she was just as prickly, and I don't know what it was about her, but there was just something that I didn't like, which sucks. But by the end of the book, I did really like her. I like the other characters. I am in love with Grey, which probably is gonna crash and burn as I get further in the series, but we shall see, because I haven't read them, so I wouldn't know. But yes, a reread is needed for this one. The next series, I actually need to buy all of the new covers, as I have the old cover, and that is Renegades, once again by Marissa Meyer. I read this, 4 stars, did enjoy it, really enjoyed it actually, but I guessed the ending, so knocked off a star for that. But yeah, I just need to get to the rest of them, but I prefer this style of cover, although like the foiling is coming off. You can probably, let's see if I can get closer, you can see it here, like the foiling is coming off, but I just prefer these covers. Like, I think they look way more superhero vibes than, no, I suppose the other covers are quite superhero-y as well, but I just really like this one. But yes, so I need to get round to reading the rest of this series. I'm not too sure. If I leave it longer than this year, then I will need to reread the first book, probably. But if I can get my hands on the second and third books this year, it won't be an issue. The next 2 book series are YA thriller series, which I'm loving at the minute, and the first one is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I have got the second and third books on my shelf ready and waiting to go, as you will see if you saw my latest haul video. If you haven't, I'll link it up here. Check it out. But yes, I really enjoyed this. I love the idea of the characters. I have seen only 1 or 2 people talk about it, but I also don't look for people talking about this, if I'm completely honest, and 1 really loved it and 1 thinks that one of the main characters is a bit questionable. But in YA, someone is always questionable, in my opinion. But I have not read any more to see how much more questionable they get. But yes, like I just said, really enjoyed this book. Can't wait to pick up the second and third ones. Need to get a wriggle on the fourth. I think the fourth book is the final book, is coming out in June, so I want to try and get ahead so I can read that when it comes out, because that'll be quite nice to be ahead of the curve, I think, for a change. But yes, this one I hope to finish this year. And the second YA thrillery series is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I read last month? No, which I also read this month. Oh jeez. So keep an eye out for my wrap up to see my full thoughts on this, but I actually adored this book. I am currently reading the sequel now, but the third one is coming out later on this year, and there is a World Book Day, a £1 prequel thing that has just come out. I think mine's arriving today. I cannot wait, but I am refusing to read it until I've read the second book. So there's that. But yes, I recommend this series to everyone. If you like YA thriller, this is actually done really, really well. But yes, love this. I will definitely be finishing this whole series this year, as long as it's up. Well, I will be up to date with this series this year, because I can't put this, I couldn't put this down. I've currently put the second one down because I had other books I had to finish. I have 2 other books to read before I can finish that one, but you can bet that when I can read it, I will not put it down and I will just crack on and get it finished. We are on to the final 4 series that I have actually remembered that I'm reading, so almost there. The next series that I need to read is the Witcher series, so this is the Stunning Illumicrate edition. I have read the first 2 short story books. I don't know what they're called off the top of my head. I don't know if there's a list in here. So I have read The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny, and then I have not read any of the actual novels, which I need to get onto. I did listen to them audibly, which I think I will do for the rest of the series, quite possibly. But I'm gutted because this is the Illumicrate edition, and I was really hoping that they would bring out at least the next short stories in this kind of style, but I don't know what's happening, so very sad. But this has pride and place on my bookshelf because it's stunning. But yes, one that I need to get to, one that I'm not sure when I'm going to get to, and I don't know if I'm just going to read this edition and then start the short stories again. I don't know. The next trilogy that I need to finish is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I read the first book. I read the first book in May last year. Started the Dragon Republic late last year, and then stopped. So I think my plan might be to just reread this one completely. Now that I've got my Stunning Illumicrate editions, I think I might just reread the whole of The Poppy War again and then just go from there and see what happens. I wonder if it'll actually come up with a different rating now that I'm using Corpile, which is a little bit more mathematical rather than like feeling based. Does that make sense? But I don't know. So I think I will later on in this year just pick this up again and then read the whole trilogy as like one. Yet again, another one that I'm like, I'm gonna read this year, and I don't know if I will. I don't know if I have time to read all of these books this year. The next trilogy that I need to finish is the Bad Trilogy, so The City of Brass, The Kingdom of Copper and The Empire of Gold. So I have read the first 2 books in this series, and for a nice change I just need to read the 3rd and final book, which is awesome. I loved this series as well. I really like the magic system, the setting, the descriptions, the characters. Love the characters. Just cannot wait to just finish this. I want to know how it ends, but I don't want to know how it ends, you know? So there's my dilemma. And the final series that is on my radar that I need to finish is the Serpent Dove books. I think this is going to be a trilogy. I have got Blood and Honey on my shelf. I know Gods and Monsters, I think that's the 3rd one, is coming out, I want to say this year. I'm not too sure. So I should really get up to date so I can read that when it comes out. But another one that I loved, I was really surprised by this book, bearing in mind I'd seen so much negativity surrounding this book, saying it didn't live up to hype and all that fun stuff. I loved this. I gave this 5 stars. And this is the not the knockoff Fairy Loot edition, but the not first edition Fairy Loot edition. Like, it just has the sprayed edges. It doesn't have the artwork under the dust jacket, which makes me sad, but it's fine. So yes, this is the final series on my radar that I need to finish. There are many series on my shelf that I actually need to start, but we'll get to that. Let me know down below if you actually want to see a video of all the series on my shelves that I am yet to start. I think I might film it anyways, but there's quite a few, if I'm completely honest. So yes, there are all of the series that I have currently started and I have not yet finished, and there are, I'd say, 20 odd on that list, which I don't think I'm going to read all of them this year, but we shall see where we get to and how far we get. Maybe we'll do a reaction video to this at the start of next year. Who knows where we will be next year. But yes, I have actually really enjoyed filming this video, just because it's quite nice to actually sit down and remember what books you've started to read and that you just haven't finished, and it's kind of made me sit here and think, why have I not finished them? And a lot of them are because I'm like, well, this book is really heavy, so I didn't feel like reading it at the time, or this book, I'm on the last book and I don't want it to finish. So the standard reasons for why people just don't want to finish series. But yes, that is all for today's video. Please give it a like if you liked it. It really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below. What is one series that you are yet to finish? And if you want to leave an emoji comment, any heart, because I need all the love and support I can get to complete all of these series. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and clicking the notification bell so you get updated every single time I upload new content. But otherwise, that is everything from me today. I hope you're having an amazing day and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye!